Hi guys, welcome back to the Shoddy Show. I just want to touch on something really quick. We have been on hiatus, Jill and I, for about, 3 months because she got super busy with her job, which is going amazing, and I got busy with my daughter's weddings and our job. But we decided we miss it and we're back, and we're super excited to have our first. We're only going to do once a month, and we're going to be found on YouTube now. So Jill is going to be with me next month, but I'm super excited to have Sue Woodbeck back with me because I had her on, I don't know, like this summer. And Sue and I both decided there's a lot more we need to discuss. So I've got her, the gorgeous daughter, Allie, here, fresh from her New Year's Eve epic wedding. Really, totally amazing. And so here we are with Sue, and I thought it'd be fun to have her daughter here to just give us some insight to what that's like. And we have these really cool t-shirts on.
Yes.
So we'll circle back to that later. Sue, talk to me, baby. What is going on?
Well, I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit more about my journey and where I'm at with my MS. I was diagnosed 26 years ago on my 31st birthday. So I'll be 57 next month.
I realized it was on your birthday now.
Yes, and I was diagnosed with relapsing MS, which most people are diagnosed with. But now after 26 years, I'm moving into the secondary progression MS, which most people will transition into. And their symptoms will just kind of manifest into not going away. Instead of, having a relapse and then remitting and relapse and remitting. So I'm kind of at that point right now. I'm still on a modifying big hitters, what they want to call the big drugs for MS, which are supposed to kind of help the lesions not come. So when I have MRIs, they don't want to see so many more new ones come or enhancements. And I'm still on the same drug. She doesn't want to change it because you don't want to take any more risks with, newer drugs. They just have more risks with it. I'm kind of holding steady, but I am kind of on the down slope. So
I feel like that's why you kind of, after your last doctor's appointment, is when you sent me a text.
Yes, it's hard. I guess the way I want to deal with it, and I want to be there for people, and if I can help anyone, your emotions are like this. Mine are. Mental health, you can't help it, but every day is up and down. I try to face it with, humility and humor, and try to keep a smile on my face with my grandchildren, is what is my medicine, and my kids. I think she's the one who saves me. And my friends.
How many kids do you have, for those who don't know?
I have 3 children. Allie's my middle, and I have 2 great sons. My oldest just turned 30, and I have a son, Josh, who's 24, and of course my dear husband, Dave, who's been there for me always. And Rory, where is Rory? I have a picture. Where is she?
Let's see Rory.
Oh, here she is. This is my baby. There.
And Sue and I, we both love our poodles.
Yes.
And Rory is so cute. I'm so
jealous.
And
I have to tell you quick. Last year I broke my neck a year ago, and she saved my life. And it's been a super tough year for me last year. We had 2 weddings this year, and I managed, from going paralyzed to being helped down the aisle for my 2 kids' weddings, which was great. And
it was unbelievable.
Yeah, to be able to get up and dance. Lots of tears, lots of work, and it seems like when I stand up, like I haven't done any work sometimes. But
I think you got to give yourself some credit.
Well, I know, but you know what? Just to get through that was fabulous, and to see her get married, and to be able to go to
Janie's
your daughter's wedding, and they're always coming out with the new stuff, and I have to try to be there. To be there for my family, and because sometimes you don't want to be here. And just to be brutally honest, I had an appointment with my neurologist, and you have to be honest, because my mental health was not good, and I just said, I have too many bad thoughts. Like, it's too tough for me every day to keep going on like this. And you're looking at the future going, I'm 56 years old. How am I going to keep going like this? And it's only going to keep getting worse. So you just kind of have to look at what you can do to modify things. And Allie's been really good with ideas about, trying to help maybe bring someone into the house and helping me with, laundry or, everything. I mean, everything's getting tougher.
This is, okay, can we just go back, first of all, with your dog?
Mhm.
Okay, so how did your dog save your life?
My sweet little dog, I wish I had a better story about falling, but I just fell off my bar stool. I wasn't drunk, I was just looking through my phone at 1 a.m, planning my son's groom dinner, and dozed off, fell over.
Were you out at the kitchen bar?
Kitchen bar,
Okay.
stool bar. My husband was upstairs sleeping because we were finishing our bedroom, and I fell face first and must have passed out. I could not flip my body over, and it was the scariest thing, and I'm like, I'm gonna die on my kitchen floor. And Rory saw me down there, and she did not like it. So she barked nonstop. I don't know how long until Dave got down there.
That's incredible.
So he called the ambulance then, and so
I mean, it's unbelievable though that you made it through with the broken neck.
yes, it's been, I can't tell you how, and it's been like a link chain. I just saw another TV show that someone was talking about linking a chain, like every link helps you get to the end.
Yeah.
So it's the friends, it's the nursing home. I was in a nursing home.
How was that experience?
You know what? It was the same nursing home that I worked at
Yes.
23 years ago in Stillwater, Good Samaritan. It was fabulous. You know what? I was in Regions. I'm not gonna lie. I did not want to stay there any longer. I just had a really, it was really awful for me. It was just a really hard place. Nothing about Regions. It was just me having that experience, surgery. I was just in a bad place in my head, and I needed to. And it was during COVID, so I could
only one
only
of us were allowed.
Oh
could only
my
have
God,
one
yeah.
person a day for 8 hours, and my poor children
rough
were.
times
Oh
for
my
people.
gosh, my kids were wonderful, but so I said, could I go to Good Samaritan in Stillwater? And they did let me, and I could have even my puppy dog in my room.
So was that
So
your
I said,
idea to transfer
It was
there?
my idea, and I
Wow.
said, and could you just call them because I think they might remember me? And my dad was medical director there, and I knew they would have private rooms, so it was fabulous, and there was still people. Shout out to Good Sam, you guys are awesome.
I love
And
them too. My grandma had her last days there, and it was incredible.
yes, and you know what? I felt like I could almost go back to work there.
But maybe you could go there and volunteer.
Well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The nurses there, I'm telling you, and it's so sad because I thought I would be in the newer section. My dad was medical director there, and with COVID, they don't have enough workers. So they had to shut down a whole section. So I was in one of the older ones. It was great. There were still a couple nursing assistants there that had worked there when I was there. And the nursing director, the DON, worked there when I was there. She was the LPN, so it was just fabulous. I mean,
That's really neat.
I
to
couldn't,
hear.
and the physical therapy was great. I mean, I wasn't getting as much as I would have got at Regions, but you know what? I needed the mental health of having my family there.
Yeah, that's
So,
miraculous that your
that was-
neck was broken.
That was it was.
That's
I mean, it was
unbelievable.
weird. I don't.
All right. Well, I want to
So-
touch on those. So
But
keep
that's-
going.
yeah.
I want to hear so much. It's hard. There's so much to talk about.
So my the other thing I wanted to touch on mainly was for women. First of all, I have to give a big shout out to this woman who was my main person. My mother, who was my biggest MS supporter, who passed away. So now, she passed away 4 years ago, and I loved her to death.
You guys were really close.
Yeah, but now I have Allie and I have everybody else. but we were talking in the car. One of my biggest symptoms of MS is dysphagia. And it's when you're talking and you can't get your words out of your head.
Okay.
You're thinking you're talking and you're gonna say a sentence and you can't finish it. And you just don't sound smart, and you can't write what you wanna say. So my mom always knew what I was gonna say. She would finish my sentences for me. So Allie's kind of stepped forward into that role. So
Family tissue.
she's kind of my main person now, and I feel bad that she is, but
It's your daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel bad.
but anyways, I was reading a lot about MS yesterday online, and I was reading about a writer who was doing podcasts, and she even said the same thing, that, you know, someone who wrote so eloquently just can't anymore because of the dysphagia. And what happens with MS is the multiple sclerosis. Sclerosis happens when you get plaques, which are,
Yeah, I asked her where the name actually
Yep.
came from today.
this is an MRI. This is
What about
someone,
you?
not my brain.
I'll show these like closer on
Right.
Instagram as well.
This is someone's brain, not mine, but this is a brain and this is a spinal cord. What happens with MS, you get little white things, which are called plaques. I don't know, they're little arrows, but these aren't very good pictures, but little white things. And what happens is, the reason there's multiple. So you have to have multiple ones to have multiple
Got it.
sclerosis. So what happens is, they're plaques, and they interrupt the connection between the messages from your spinal cord, from your
Oh.
brain. Nothing's connecting. And what happens is your nerves are tearing apart. It's almost like, what did I use before?
Like
Um,
the plastic peeling from
Yes,
what
like-
holds like a wire to.
Yeah, like if you have a wire and you know the coating, what happens with MS, it's demyelination. Take that coating, the plastic on it, and start peeling it off. Peel it till you get that raw wire, and that's what happens, and it finally sever it, and that's what happens.
So
So when it severs, you can't get it back. You know, and when it doesn't sever, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And so when you have a phone charger and it's starting to,
Yeah.
the wire, and you gotta wiggle it sometimes,
Yes.
sometimes it works. Or the Christmas tree, that's how MS is. So the connections are not there, you know, so that's what happens. Problem with me is, you know, even though you go have your MRIs, I'm due for some new ones now. Even though I may not have more new lesions, the ones I have done the damage
Okay.
and are just kind of there and creating havoc where they are. My symptoms mainly are from my waist down, my bladder, my bowel, my walking, you know, basically everything on me. I didn't get the normal, like optic neuritis happens to be sometimes the first symptom, especially with women. They'll get double vision or
Okay.
blurry, one-sided usually. That will bring people in a lot of times. My first symptom, I actually got diagnosed by accident when I was trying to get pregnant. I'll tell you that in a second, but my first symptoms that I noticed that I looked back and I had was numbness and tingling in my fingertips and feet. But I taught aerobics and I always thought it was from that,
Yeah.
you know. But they found it on an MRI when I had, I couldn't get pregnant, so they did an MRI to find an adenoma in my pituitary gland that was screwing up my hormones, and then they found the plaques.
It's so weird how everything's connected, you guys.
It is, yeah. And so the one thing about MS, it's super hard to diagnose. What's weird, it's a rare disease. And in Minnesota, you don't think it is because you see so many, you hear about it all the time.
Yes.
It's only 1% of the population has it.
That's so interesting. The last time I interviewed you, I even looked it up again. Like, that's really wild.
Yeah, it is.
And tell us a little bit more about that. What?
It's because they don't really know why people get it, but the reason most of the people who get it live above the equator. So, and are like European, Scandinavian descent. So, you'll see a lot of Minnesotans, live in a colder climate.
Okay.
And they don't really know why. They don't really exactly know why people, viruses when you're little, Epstein-Barr, maybe they thought, they're just not sure. But numbers, more numbers, people have it above the equator. More women, 3 to 4 times more likely. You're usually 20, 30 years old. A lot of people are diagnosed. But a lot of people don't catch it then, because sometimes, there's
Something
symptoms.
else.
Yeah, or it's hard to diagnose, or they just brush it off, whatever. And then like Christina Applegate, one of my favorite
I was
actresses.
gonna ask, I think she had it
Yes,
for
she
a
definitely,
while
yes.
and didn't know.
Even like when she filmed the first
Dead
Oh,
to me.
yeah.
Dead to Me, you think
Yeah.
she had it during the first filming of Dead?
Oh, yeah,
We're talking about Christina Applegate.
yes.
So she's, that's
Yeah.
something. The
Yeah,
way that
and-
went down.
And I feel so bad for her. In fact, I just joined TikTok. I'm bad at social media.
What
but
is your handle at TikTok? Because
I don't know. Am I supposed to have a handle?
we need to up your TikTok game.
It's probably the same as her
MS
Facebook.
Grandma.
Well, her name is Sue Woodbeck, but I will let you guys know.
I'm
'cause-
super bad at social media, you guys. I don't know.
But you're
I'm
gonna start
bad at
doing this
Instagram.
for humor
Okay.
and your moods or whatever you want. You
Yes.
can go live on that, baby.
And I am gonna start doing this because I
Okay.
think it's gonna help me, and maybe it'll help some other people too. It helps me to talk about it.
Yes.
So,
Keep going, because there's so many more things I want you to, because you have what you want to talk
help me
about.
back to what? See, I lose track.
Yeah, no, well, I do too. That's what was the problem last time I
It's-
interviewed you. I get
Well,
excited.
menopause, MS, and age altogether doesn't help.
What about maybe talking a bit about how problems with your back and your potential scoliosis
Yes, I'm
kind of
sorry.
worsen some of your
Yeah.
And I'd like to hear a
symptoms?
family dynamic when you guys were little. Is that okay?
Yeah, let's do that.
As her as a mom.
Of course.
So let's go back to your physical stuff. We can go all over this is her interview.
Okay.
We can do what we want.
I have, just quickly, I have a little added other problems with it. I have severe scoliosis, which has only gotten worse the last probably 3 years. Because I'm not sure why. The MS makes it worse. The spasticity makes it worse. So I have chronic pain because of that every day, every minute of the day, which is just relentless. So
So that's the chronic pain is because of the scoliosis that was brought on by the MS?
yeah, you do have pain with MS.
Yeah.
So I have you have nerve pain from MS, which is neuropathy.
Ooh, nerve pain's hard.
A
to
lot
handle.
of people think there's no pain with MS. That's bullshit. You have pain. You have pain with MS. Don't let anybody tell you you don't. But I have the extra nerve pain from my back, and it's inoperable. So
Can you describe how that nerve pain feels?
it feels like someone's going like this to your nerves. It's just, I can't even explain it. I ended up, flying's really hard for me. I would get spasms. Your quadricep is a big muscle. I would get quad spasms that lasted for 10 hours at a time. And on an airplane, I would be throwing up
God.
because it was so bad. And I'd done it in a restaurant, just laying there eating, and I'm in the bathroom floor throwing up. So I did end up getting a baclofen pump put in, and I did want to talk about that because not a lot of people have gotten that put in yet.
Okay. And what exactly does that do? I
baclofen-
saw it last time, right? It's in the front.
Baclofen pump,
What is it called?
It's a baclofen pump. It's for spasticity, and a lot of people take it orally. It's I have an intrathecal baclofen pump in, and
Oh, interesting.
I would show it, but you guys probably don't want me to, so I won't. But Here, right here. I got it.
We showed it last time when we were drinking on the pod.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Yeah, it's just it's very interesting. It's
Okay.
inside you.
Yeah, if I was you gals, I would ask your doctor to show you a picture what it looks like before you get it placed, because it is large. And I probably would have gotten it if I knew my 2 kids were gonna get married. I probably would have gotten it placed in after the fact, just because finding dresses for it was difficult.
I mean, it is like this big, right?
It's
A little bigger
it's
than
like a hockey puck, and it's
Yeah.
that thick.
Yeah. So
And you're in
it's
a small frame.
And I'm
so-
a little
yeah. She's
person.
not exactly right.
So it's big, but I will tell you, when I took it orally for 20 years.
Okay.
And I hit that top dose, and it just was not happening. When you have a pump put in, it's intrathecal, so a catheter, the medicine is inside your pump, it goes right into your spinal fluid. So when you take it orally, you miss 30% of the meds by the time it gets
Peed out.
down. So it helps so much because it goes right into your spinal fluid. So it's cut down my quad spasms by 90%.
Wow.
So if anybody is thinking about or contemplating, yeah, it's horrible because it's right here and it's hard for clothes. It's not exactly lovely looking, but if you can get over that.
But you actually have a. I mean, you know, if you're in your bikini or something, but I mean,
I don't do that anymore.
But
anyways,
we I didn't know it was in there, and then you showed us. So you know, if it's
Yeah,
if it's
Mine's
killing that
good,
pain.
flattering.
Well,
It's just about finding that flattering.
wear
Yeah,
little-
with the A-line
yeah,
gowns.
you know, I'm
And can I just say on a lighter note that your looks at both weddings were amazing.
I know, she looked
Like it was the
phenomenal.
black look at Justin's
Yeah.
wedding, and then Allie's wedding was insane. And Jane's like, "Mom, I knew you're gonna be jealous of her hair because my daughter does her hair." But it was just you looked gorgeous at both. of them.
I got,
so
like,
you
this
killed
was-
your looks.
this was Allie's.
Yeah, Allie's
Wedding.
photography was right out of Vogue. Can you see it there?
Yeah, I
folks?
made it. Shoot, I don't know. 2 weddings. So
This is a gorgeous
big
picture.
wedding. So I made 2 weddings.
Look at
I was so happy.
Yep, her son Justin and Allie,
I
and they were
know.
both beautiful weddings
I
for you.
don't have the other one.
It's hard to see on
But
this
anyways,
So okay, so that has been helping.
that has been helping a ton. So I just, wanted, because a lot of people, it was funny because I had never been on TikTok, so I just wanted to go on and look to see what people, MS videos. First of all, there's one guy on there saying, you can cure MS. I'm like, yeah, no, you can't.
You're like, you
But-
can? Okay.
Okay, maybe I should kind of, no, you can't cure it, but whatever. So anyways, most of them, and believe me, I feel it, people, were younger people going, complaining, and a lot of F words, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I've been there, done it. I think I'm gonna try to use my grandchildren next weekend. I'm trying to use more positive ones, so stay tuned, it'll be interesting.
Well, so on TikTok, you can do funny things, and then you can do serious things.
Oh yeah,
That's a
I'll
platform.
be there, I'll be doing everything.
And then you can go live and have people ask questions.
That may happen.
I thought of that today, but again, we're doing a new format here, so we're just gonna do this on YouTube.
Right, yes, and,
Let's say this really quick before I forget. It's March's MS Awareness Month.
oh, I'm sorry.
No,
yes,
I
it
should
is,
have
and
said that
that's-
right away, and I'm gonna say that
reflection.
on the, when I put it out there on Instagram and stuff.
Well, and that's why we're here,
All right.
quickly.
Here, let me bring that up to the camera here.
That's why I had these shirts made. Stop MS.
So cute. These shirts, she made them. I think we should sell these babies. So, okay.
We could make one for the doggies.
Oh my God, she's so cute.
I
Sue's
just-
always loved poodles and so have I.
I love them, yes. Just funny things.
Read the Dear Healthy People.
I just found, you know what I do? When I'm feeling bad, or when I'm feeling sorry for myself, which is a lot.
But you've always been one of the fattest asses I've ever met.
I will go on, if you go online, you could read funny jokes and stuff about MS all day long. And this is like, dear healthy people, please understand that many chronic pain patients don't medicate to no pain. We medicate to have hoping a functional human being, which, yeah, that's all I can hope
So yeah,
for.
when you're doing your
being
Chardonnay and
functional.
your...
Yeah, but yeah, I don't even really drink that much anymore. So, and this is another one. This is MS. It's not the ant, it's the dinosaur. Right? People just really don't see it.
Yeah, we don't see it on
You
the
know,
outside.
so
And I guess what we'd also like to get across for you is like, if there's any other women like our age in Woodbury, Stillwater area that want to have a support group and
I
hang
would
out.
love to start one.
I tried to get that the last time
Yeah,
for you,
there is one in Oakdale. I haven't.
but you need people kind of like you too. It's just because you have MS, you need your personality type. You know, I mean, not that, you know, we'll take all applicants, but you need some people to hang out with that you can BS and have jokes and
Yeah.
ball and just talk about your scary thoughts and all that.
I know, and the one thing about support groups, when my neurologist, first of all, I stalked my neurologist because she quit right before I fell last year, and so when I went 6 months, came time for my neurologist, so I didn't have one. So I stalked her and I found her at Fairview. And
Good work.
Yes,
She quit where she was at.
Yes, so I found her and she's like, "Oh, you found me," and I said, "Seriously, I'm
Sure
not
did, honey.
stalking you, but you're good." She's subspecializes in MS and she's young, and I didn't want to start all over.
How old is she? You know,
She's
they're always
oh
so
my
young.
gosh, she's like 35.
Help!
She's not much older
She
than
just
me.
got out of high school.
Yeah, she did her fellowship at the U at Mayo in multiple sclerosis. That's why I picked her.
It's neat.
Yeah.
I
So
love her.
there are little perks to MS. You could just sit in your wheelchair in Europe and go see the Pope.
Well, you got to sit with the nuns.
Yeah,
Oh,
I sat with the
different.
nuns and was really close to the Pope.
When did you guys go on that trip?
This was 2017.
Yeah, a long time
When
ago,
I was
but-
studying abroad, they came in.
Wow.
There are perks to being in a wheelchair. Not
Yeah.
many, but there are some.
Want to tell them what you want to do with your husband at the airport
Oh yeah, he wouldn't do it.
when he wants out? Dave.
For TikTok, we were in the airport. My son, we were meeting him in Vegas, and I said, "Let's do a TikTok. Just see the little to go on the airplane." I wanted them just to let me go in my wheelchair.
Like down the jetway?
Yes. And
Like
just-
let go of you and just let you.
yes, someone will
ride.
catch me at the end. He's like, "No." Oh,
That's
Someone would catch you in the end.
I mean,
You
I
should
mean,
talk about how
I
many
and-
friends you make.
If
because
I
it would make
crash-
you laugh so hard.
If I crash, that's okay. It's not gonna hurt that bad.
She always makes
Right?
friends at the airport.
I
It's
always
just
make
I
right.
love the airport when it's fun. Like I
It
get there
shows you that
early and I
people
can.
are nice. and
Well, you
everything.
have you have to ask for help, or you will not get it.
Yeah.
Right?
Keep
And
that in mind,
people-
everybody, for everything.
People are nice. You just have to ask for help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And young kids are nice, and they will help you if you ask for help.
I love your idea with the jetway. We might have to look into that.
And everybody do a good deed every day for someone, because I'm telling you, it will come around.
Okay.
It does. It comes
I
around.
think we have to remember that stuff.
Yes, it
I mean,
comes.
yeah, we all have it.
Absolutely.
Open the door for someone. It really.
We get wrapped up in our own stuff.
Yes. Let me see. Okay.
So what about, let's touch on like when the kids were little a little bit. I remember a story you telling one time you guys were in the car going somewhere and you didn't feel good, and I think the kids were upset or whatever. I don't know. Tell what it was like. What were your memories like, Allie?
I would say growing up, we didn't, and I don't want to speak for you, maybe your MS wasn't obviously at as progressive of a state as it is as I've entered into adulthood.
Okay.
So our relationship has changed, I would say, in the last 7 to 8 years, just with how progressive it's gotten.
Right.
But growing up, I mean, she was extremely involved. Everything dance, every recital, stoning all the costumes. So I don't
Big
know
time.
if you were covering up a lot of your pain.
I always wondered that.
But growing up, we didn't. And I think as a kid, it's harder to empathize and understand what
Well,
your parents are going through.
It
That's
it-
pretty incredible.
it was because I would periodically go on weeks, 5 days stints of IV steroids and be sicker than a dog for 6 days after,
Right.
and giving Josh a bath and laying down
And you time
next to
them
him
out.
on the floor.
What I remember now that you said that, like she would time those out where she wasn't doing them around like competition
Yes,
season.
I remember you even saying that.
Yeah.
And as a kid, it's just like you don't even. I think when you're in that kid and parent relationship, the kid to parent relationship comes first, and then as you
Yes.
become an adult, we
Yes.
develop and flourish that friendship. And so as your MS has progressed, I've tried as best as I could to step into that somewhat of a caretaking role. I'll never
Right.
be able to
And she
fully
kinda
fulfill it, but
Made you comfortable as kids, so
absolutely,
you didn't have to be afraid or.
absolutely.
And it all kind of started getting worse after my mom died, because I remember I was a hospice nurse my last 7 years, and I haven't worked for a long time, but I helped take care of my mom, and standing at her wake, I stood there for 3 hours, without a cane. I didn't even use a cane 4 years ago.
Wow.
So, it's kind of done this thing.
And why do you think that is, since she died? Just the loss?
The loss, probably, but I took care of my grandson the first year, and, not because of that, but just my neurologist simply said, you've had a long time, so just it's progressing because
It seems like
I've had a long
done
time,
well.
and that's what's gonna happen. So, I'm trying to prepare and just get myself, ready for if I need to start looking, towards being in a wheelchair more, which I am, because I can't walk very far. So you just have to prepare for stuff like that. I'm a little sad because it's hard to travel and shop. I can't really go places by myself, like to shop very easily. So, but you just have to deal and do what you can. I mean, I've learned kind of, it's lonely. It's a lonely disease because you're home a lot by yourself. But it's okay. You just kind of have to, I'm okay by myself,
Yeah.
But it's a hard disease. It's a lot. This explains it well. Here, you want to grab that for me? This is exactly explains it, except I don't want to say beautiful at the end, but multiple sclerosis has changed my life, made me cry, caused me to fall, hugged me tight, given me pain, taught me to fight. Yet through it all, I know who I am. I am not my multiple sclerosis. I am beautiful. Yeah, I'm not really beautiful, but wonderful me. But you just have to keep, I don't know what else to do, but keep plugging along.
Well, I think that you've always shown us strength, and I don't want to be cliche and say that to you, but since you got it, you were living in Oak Glen. In your 3-level split like mine that I'm still in.
Yeah, wait a minute.
I'm a realtor. I can get myself.
Can I move in? No.
But that's a long time ago, and you're still here and laughing. We're on the boat this summer and drinking, and you beat everybody.
And the boat.
Everybody else is.
My husband and I, the boat is one reason. These are healthy anti-inflammatory.
I want to see that. So going on the boat. Sorry.
The boat was a good thing for us to purchase because we can entertain and I can see my friends, but I don't have to walk around all over.
That's really cool.
The only bad thing is when we joined this little island thing, they have to carry me all around. These boys.
You see all the boys carrying
It's kind of embarrassing.
They're like, you're so light anyway.
These young boys.
You're the queen. Is that the yacht club you guys joined?
Yeah,
That's
just why?
awesome.
But why we did it? Not for bougie stuff, so that we could bring our grandchildren
Let them run on the beach.
to play on the island.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I love where you guys are at with the boats at down there. Right?
Well,
is it
we're
still
now
called
we're
Clyde's?
at a different slip because we lost our slip.
I love your.
But
Okay.
It's been a good thing.
Yeah, the boat's been a good thing for you guys.
Quickly.
I want to make sure we cover everything because I don't want to be laying there tonight in bed and go, dang it.
Well,
It is St. Patrick's Day today, guys, too.
Yes. Oh, happy St. Patrick's Day.
To all.
I'm gonna be.
Are we Irish?
Oh, we're so Irish.
Are you a little Irish? Like everybody.
Okay, people. You know what's so funny? I didn't know I was super Irish. A lot Irish until my mother passed away, and she had the Irish blessing as her song to go out.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
I'm a lot of Irish, so that's so funny.
Well, then when you meet your dad downtown, you guys can have a little Irish drink.
Yes.
Can we touch on the pain? Do you still like the medical marijuana or not?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us. I always wonder about this. Hell yeah, baby. Well, here's what I get nervous about. I can't handle the marijuana situation because it makes me a little paranoid. So how is
do
it?
it unless I'm going to sleep.
Okay, so you're going to bed and you smoke one up, or do you do a gummy, or what do you do?
I do a gummy, unless I don't have a gummy.
And you'll smoke that. See,
Well,
if I was gonna do the pot, I would want to smoke it.
I do
Edibles
sometimes.
pitch it, though.
That's what they say.
They hit ya.
So you get hit with the edibles, you get...
What, the edibles? The only bad thing about, I will tell you about the edibles. The first time I did it, my girlfriends from college took me shopping. And I took one before we left.
You did? No.
And we went to Chico's, but it didn't hit me till we got there.
Yeah,
And
it takes like
so-
5 minutes.
My walking, I was like flying around the carts.
Little noodle.
I mean, worse than I
Were you
normally am.
anxious or laughing at
No,
Tacky
I
or
was just
anything?
like,
Because I'm just like, whoa.
and they're like, don't mind her. She's just marijuana. So they're like up, down, throwing shirts on me over and whatever. But it is the only thing I don't do it because I want to be high all the
Well, who
time.
cares if you would want to be high all the time?
It helps me. It helps me take the edge off my pain. It helps me sleep, and it's there for MS.
So you take the gummy and then you having like, ooh, I'm buzzed, or like yours out. You sleep throughout the night.
Usually I will take enough to, and
Not
usually
yet.
I'll combine it with one of my meds.
Okay,
Like I have trazodone too, a sleeping med.
got it.
It depending on where I'm at and what I'm feeling like. A lot of times my back is so bad that I just wake up,
Are you
Or you-
sleeping throughout the night though? Still?
no, not really.
I mean, well, how many
I
times do you
sleep
think you
bad.
wake? I mean, I wake up all the time too.
I wake up about every 2 hours.
Okay.
I go to the bathroom constantly.
Same.
And I have to keep a little potty by my bed because I've fallen twice in my bathroom and split my head open. So
Let's just keep the potty by your bed then.
yeah, and my puppy saved me that time too.
She's so cute.
My husband doesn't like to wake up when I fall, but she does.
Well, the man,
So
I can see Rick.
yeah,
I
Well,
fell.
when I fell in my little bathroom, he was sleeping in bed, and I go, I'm hurt.
I bet he.
Puppies are lighter
I
sleepers.
bet he freaked out though, because they don't like that. They don't like
no,
that.
she does not like that
Yeah, no.
at all. So I have to always have a puppy.
Oh my God, yes.
And if I ever have to get a, what do you call the dog?
A service.
Oh,
like a service
yeah.
dog.
Her
Yes.
German Shepherds are awesome,
yeah.
but also standard
Shepherds?
poodles.
Yeah, but I think we should get her a standard.
Yeah.
Standard poodles make the best.
Service dog.
And they're
Sorry.
super smart, and you
Super
love poodles.
smart, and I love poodles, and they don't
I mean,
shed.
some of them are trained to help you get up if you fall. I think
Yes,
that'd be
Pretty incredible.
I had one in the hospital when I was getting IVs.
You did?
Well, I saw one at a jail.
Oh, cool,
At
okay.
Lakeview, they had one in there.
And they're so smart and intelligent, and yeah, you love poodles.
Yeah, you love poodles, so you want
And
to
you
get
can
a.
still have your little one. They'd be
Heck
best
yeah.
pals.
I have a big and a small dog
Your
now.
big one and your little one.
Another
Can
day.
you think of any? What about just like the types? The types of
I'm gonna touch on the foods for the people too.
okay.
Okay, make sure I'm
MS is there's so much to talk about in MS. I mean, in terms of everything. As I had talked about the different types of MS, there's 4 main types. Relapsing remitting, which is most people get. There's secondary progressive, which is what I'm moving into. Primary progressive, which is not hardly any people get diagnosed with. That's kind of the bad one where you really progress quickly. So I'm kind of towards here getting worse towards the middle, but it's okay. It'll, turn out.
So
way
that's
it's
the
supposed
4
to be.
stages or 4 types? You mean that's the 4 stages, right?
Those are,
Okay.
those are types. Anyway, so that is what it is. And everybody is different. Every single person has different. A lot of people have similar symptoms, but everybody manifests differently.
Mhm.
So,
And like your doctor said, I mean, it's been a long time, and like, it's interesting to me. So now you're kind of,
yeah.
like you're saying,
Yes.
you're worse now than you
Oh,
were.
yeah. And let me tell you, you have to be your own advocate and you have to be in their face. Because if you're not going to get your answers and you're not going to get things done. So be there, have questions, have stuff written down, look at everything because it is a disease that's hard to diagnose. And just really, really, really be your own advocate. Try to find a good neurologist. And it's really important just to read up on it and to do everything you can to get support on issues.
This has been great, Sue. Anything else that we can think of?
No, you want
I think we want to touch on some of the foods that are good
just
for you.
quickly.
People love that.
MS is hugely affected by inflammation. So anything anti-inflammatory, this is so little, but any kind of, omega-3s, the fishes, fruits, the swank diet is for MS, healthy diet. I'm a sugar freak, which is the worst.
It says worst foods, sugar.
I know.
I mean, that's with anything too, right?
It is.
Because it attacks, but
Yes.
I
In
mean,
moderation, we
Right.
still have to be happy.
I always feel like if you're not gonna eat like clean or whatever, but it's always good to at least add in the healthy foods and vegetables.
You always
anyway.
want to add instead
Right.
of take away.
Right, add in like
Right.
I told you guys, we were going through a grossed out on meat phase house, so we were eating these plates of pasta, but we still got our veggies in.
Right.
So this is a really interesting thing. I'll put that on my Instagram.
Yeah,
Also,
there's so much information. I mean, I don't
Do you
know.
have any tips on how to manage the mental
yeah,
health side of it and not just on the physical
when
side?
you were
since
saying
that's
like when the
such a
darkness.
thing?
Yeah, the mental health, the reason you need, personally, I was put on antidepressants right away. Any person, I think, being a nurse, with my medical background, having a chronic disease, it's easier, I think, and it's safe to be on some kind of antidepressant. It helps you deal with it. I wasn't on it when I was pregnant, obviously, but after, I've been on it forever. But lately, after I fell and was in the hospital, they had switched them, and I could never cry very easily. And lately, just teary every day,
Interesting.
and that's just not like me. So I kind of went in and said, not having great thoughts every day, and just really not feeling very good mentally. So I needed my medicine tweaked. So you have to be really honest about that too, because MS has a super high suicide rate, just because, it's hard to deal with physically and mentally. You have to be, as good as you can be and have good support system.
Are you able to be honest with the family members?
I'm
when you're
honest.
dark?
Yeah.
I am dead honest with everybody,
That's-
aren't I?
Really great.
But
They
you
didn't get it
I mean,
out.
I dead honest with my dad the other night. I mean, you have to be, even though it's awful. I mean, the stuff my husband has to deal with.
Dave's been
They're
shout
not-
out to Dave.
Yeah.
There are issues, your bladder issues. It's not a glamorous thing, It's not.
You do the thing about you though is
You make it glamorous.
you are glamorous looking. You always have been. No, people are always, Sue's gorgeous, and in high school and junior high they were jealous of Sue. So her being this glamorous looking person, and then people didn't know you had it half the time.
Well, you hide it.
But that's why the last episode was called "I'm Not Drunk, I Just Have MS."
Yes.
You never get aggressive.
I did
there.
win the best.
Well, I am drunk too.
I did.
Yeah, we were drunk.
I did win the
Sorry.
best walk in high school, though.
Yes,
Tell
you
you.
did have the best walk, and I got made fun for my walk. You walked like my dad.
I don't know why
She-
10th grade I won it,
Falls.
and I was not drunk.
She was just so intimidating. She was so
Yeah.
pretty. She
Oh
was
my
so
gosh, you
tall.
guys are so. I was not.
Yes, she was
I was
gorgeous
tall
and still is.
Thank you. I've shrunk 4.5 inches.
I mean, at Allie's wedding, I was like, "What the hell?" Like, that dress both looks
Yeah.
were
Oh, yeah,
amazing.
in my wheelchair. Great.
Well, we see you out there dancing.
I did dance. I danced
you
with
did.
my walker, my wheelchair, and yeah.
It was kind of fun because Steph and I figured out how to we were us
I've
three were
danced
dancing.
I've danced
Yeah,
at
we were
every
like-
wedding I've been at lately.
It's
As long
awesome.
as I'm with people, I don't even care anymore. You lose all your dignity. I did last year in the hospital.
But you're surrounding yourself with people who well, I like to say I try to empathize as much as I can, but I'm never going to fully understand. But you have to be around people that
Right.
somewhat understand.
Yes, yeah.
And they're there for you to hold you
Yeah,
up. to
and
be
I
I would
don't-
like to see her get some people at this
You know.
point. It's at this age we're at. I think it would be cool for her to have some friends.
I don't
Who are
like to
going
put
through
it. I don't like to post stuff about it and put it in people's faces, but I don't think people know a lot about it.
People want.
And so
To
it
know
is a
though.
disease where you are behind closed doors a lot,
Yeah.
and people really don't know what's going on. So sometimes maybe ask how you doing or whatever.
But they feel uncomfortable, so if you share it, that's great because
Right.
I mean they don't
With
want
me,
you to.
I'm an open book. You can ask me anything.
I love that.
It's kind of, by this point, you know, with your doctors, it's so embarrassing. You have to tell them everything. But after things like this have happened to me, luckily I have the husband I have and the family I have and
The
the
grandkids.
friends I have, and my grandkids are like the dose of medicine. Like,
'Cause
they're
so
crazy,
funny.
aren't they?
They're so fun.
They are like,
They're just funny.
I can't even explain it.
No, they're just
Yeah,
so
they
funny.
just make me so happy. So, this one will have more, right?
Come on.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh,
Oh,
can't
and
say anything
Ted.
now.
And I really want to show the Ted one, but I don't want to swear, but
I want to make sure this is
Close it up with a
seen.
bang.
Yeah, close it out with a
I
bang.
don't want, can it show swear?
We can swear as much as we want.
Okay, this is my favorite. Remember Ted?
Ted, that my dog's named after Teddy the bear from the movie.
Can you see that?
He has a Boston accent.
Can you see that?
Ted, Johnny.
Ted
Yeah, read
is,
it out.
Ted
Read
is
it out.
giving, I'm not going to say the word.
Just
Want
do
me to read it?
It's
Yeah.
fine.
Ted, raise awareness for MS. It's been ignored for too fucking long now. Love Ted. That's my Teddy accent.
That was pretty good.
There you go.
We love Ted, the movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that movie.
It-
That is so
Yeah.
awesome.
It just, anyways.
And you know what? You come on with Jill and I anytime you have to meet Jill. It's just
I
random.
met her at the wedding.
But you have to be on the show with her.
I will. And I'm going to try to do more things. I want to try to, you know, do something on certain things. So Ellie and I are going to try to figure this out. And it helps me so much. And thank you, Jen, for letting
Thank
me
you
do
for
this.
coming back.
It was so nice.
Mwah. And we're gonna put this obviously on
And thanks,
YouTube.
Al, for helping me. You're always there.
Every Instagram account I have this will be on, and then on these accounts we'll show them how we get on our TikTok and all that.
Yes. And Stillwater Skin.
Love you,
It's
Stillwater
awesome.
Skin.
Just want to let you know it is my therapy.
If you
I
want to
look
get
forward to it.
Botox and look, you know, do your
Yes.
wrinkles, no, they got everything there. We love them.
Thank you.
Shout out, Abe.
Good luck,
Goodbye,
MSers.
guys.
Thank you to
Mwah.
all my, and good luck to all my brother and sisters with MS.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Yeah, 53, 54.
It was that bad.
It was excellent.